Good night, everyone. My name is Michaela, and I will be tutoring you in French. Yes, please, I will be tutoring you in French for the time being. Today, we will be looking at the conjugation of ER verbs, IR verbs, and RE verbs in the present tense. For future reference, if you attend one of my classes, if there is anything that I present that you do not understand, please feel free to stop me and say, Michaela, I don't understand this. Could you go over it for me, please? And I will definitely stop and I will try my best to re-explain. So here goes. Once again, we are looking at the conjugation of ER, IR, and RE verbs in the present tense. So first, we'll look at verb endings. In French, there are regular verbs and there are irregular verbs. Each verb has an infinitive form, and when they are in that form, the verb ends with either ER, IR, or RE. Today, we're going to learn how to conjugate ER, IR, and RE verbs in the present tense. Sorry about that, my computer seems to be having a bit of difficulties. So here are some examples of regular verbs in the infinitive. First and foremost, we have regular ER verbs. Parler, parler, to speak. Chanter, 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 to sing. Jouer, 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 to play. So all of these verbs are in the infinitive. They all end with ER. Next, we have regular IR verbs. Finir, 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 to finish. Choisir, 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 to choose. Punir, punir, to punish. And last but not least, we have regular RE verbs. Vendre, vendre, to sell. Vendre, to sell. Perdre, perdre, to lose. Entendre, entendre, to hear. Entendre, to hear. So here we have the examples of the regular verbs in the infinitive. And we know that they're in the infinitive because they end with ER, IR, or RE. Now we will be looking at the endings of conjugated ER verbs in the present tense. So the verb first starts off with, in terms of these verbs start off with the ER ending when they're in the infinitive. So when conjugating, you have to drop the ER and you're left with the word stem. And then you add on one of the endings that I have listed here, depending on the subject or the subject pronoun, which comes before that verb. I will show you what I mean in a minute, but hopefully that part was clear. So, the subject pronouns are je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. I'll say that one more time. The subject pronouns are je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il, elle. and the ER endings when the verb is conjugated. The ER endings are E, ES, E, 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 ONS, EZ, ENT, ENT. So you would have je, and the verb conjugated would end with E. It would have the stem and it would end with E. When it comes to to, the verb would be conjugated. You would have the stem and you would be left, and you would have the stem and the verb would end with ES. When it comes to il, elle, on, you have the stem and the ending is E. When it comes to nous, it goes the same for all. When it comes to nous, you have the stem and then the ending ONS. For vous, you have the stem and the ending EZ. For il and elle, you have the stem and then you have the ending ENT. Here's an example so that I can explain this a bit better. Let me just see if anyone pops in. Please forgive me. Okay. So conjugations and translations of ER verbs in the present tense. So here we have the verb parler. Parler, P-A-R-L-E-R, is the infinitive because we see that it ends with ER. And it means to speak. It doesn't mean speak. It means to speak. And here, so when we are conjugating parler, we would drop the ER and we're left with parle. We're left with P-A-R-L, parle. So then we add on the endings, the endings that I just showed you. We add on the endings depending on the subject pronoun or the subject which comes before the verb. So here I have the subject pronouns highlighted and I have the endings highlighted. So we have je parle. That's what I was trying to explain before. Je parle. So we see that the ending, we have the E ending. We have parle, the stem, the word stem, and we have E, the ending. Je parle. And that translates to I speak or I am speaking. Je parle. In terms of tu, we say tu parle. Tu parle. We see the tu is the subject pronoun. Thus, the ending, we have the word stem and the ending es. Tu parle. Il, elle, on parle. As I showed you before, the endings and the subject pronouns that they go with. So, il, elle, on parle. We have the word stem and the ending e. I forgot to mention previously, tu parle equals or equivalates to you informal speak or you are speaking. And when I say informal, I mean this tu you use with friends, family, people that you have a close relationship with. Right, back to il, elle, on parle. We have the subject pronoun in golden yellow and the ending e in red. So remember, when we're conjugating, we drop the er and we're left with the stem, and depending on the subject pronoun or the subject, we add on specific endings. So il, elle, on, the ending that goes with that is e. And il, elle, on parle equivalates to or equals to he, she, or one speaks, or he, she, or one is speaking. Nous parlons. Nous parlons. We speak. We are speaking. Once again, we see the subject pronoun and the ending which goes with that subject pronoun. Vous parlez. Vous parlez. Vous parlez. You all, like vous can mean a group, you all. You formal, which you would use with, let's say, strangers or people you don't have a close relationship with, like a teacher or your principal or your boss, for example. So it means you all or you formal speak, or you all you formal are speaking. It can equivalent to either or. And last but not least, we have il, elle parle. Il, elle parle. It's not parler, it's not parlant. Il, elle parle. When there's a verb and you see ent and it's a verb, you do not pronounce the ent. Il, elle parle. They speak. They are speaking. So we see, once again, you have the subject pronoun and the ending that it goes with. Let's show another example. Chanter. Chanter. To sing. Chanter. So we know that this verb is in the infinitive right now because it ends with er. Here, let me get my mouth. So chanter. Er, this means that this entire verb is an infinitive verb. And it means to sing, not sing, to sing. So when we're conjugating chanter, we drop the er, we throw it away, and we're left with chante. We're left with the word stem chante. So then we use the specific endings which go with specific nouns or subject pronouns. So firstly, je chante. Je chante. And here we see the E. The E, as I showed before. Let me go back. E, the ending goes with je. Je chante. Je chante. I sing. I am singing. I sing. I am singing. Tu chantes. Tu chantes. And we see the ES ending. It goes with tu. And we see the ES ending. It goes with tu. Tu chantes. You informal sing. You are singing. You informal sing. You are singing. One moment, please. Right, so back at it. Tu chantes. And we see the ES ending, which goes with the tu. Il, elle, on chante. Il, elle, on chante. Now we see the il, elle, on goes with the E ending. He, she, or one sings, or he, she, or one is singing. Next, nous chantons. Nous chantons. We sing, we are singing. And we see the nous goes with on. That ending goes with nous. And when conjugating ER verbs in the present tense. Now we have vous. Vous chantez. Vous chantez. Easy goes with vous. You all, you formal sing, or you all, or you formal are singing. So let me say that. You all sing, you formal sing, or you all are singing, or you formal are singing. And last but not least, we have il, elle chante. Il, elle chante, which equivalates to they sing or they are singing. One moment, please. Right, sorry about that. As I was saying before, il, elle chante. They sing, they are sing. And once again, the subject pronoun goes with this ending. And here is some practice. Il blank avec son frère. Il blank avec son frère. And the verb that we're conjugating, is parler. So this one would be il parle avec son frère. He speaks, or he is speaking with his brother. And parle would end with E. So it would be P-A-R-L-E. Il parle avec son frère. Then we have elle blank dans une chorale. Elle, I'm sorry, elle blank dans une chorale. And the verb we're conjugating is chanter. Elle chante dans une chorale. Well, sorry for my pronunciation, but it's either chorale or choral. Wait. So elle chante. It would be C-H-A-N-T. We drop the ER and add the ending E-N-T. So it's L C-H-A-N-T-E-N-T dans une chorale. Next, nous parle. Well, nous blank. And the verb is parler. Nous blank. Parler. Nous parlons. Nous parlons. We are talking to ourselves. Nous parlons. P-A-R-L. Remember we dropped the E-R. And we have the ending. Which ending goes with nous? O-N-S. Nous parlons. P-A-R-L-O-N-S. Chaque week-end, je blank avec ma mère. Chaque week-end, je blank avec ma mère. And the verb we're conjugating is chanter. So once again, when conjugating, we drop the ER and we're left with the word stem, which would be chante. And which ending goes with je? Which ending do you add to the word stem when the subject pronoun is je? As mentioned before, the ending would be E. So, chaque week-end, je chante avec ma mère. Chaque week-end, je chante avec ma mère. C-H-A-N-T, drop the ER and add E. Je chante. C-H-A-N-T. Vous blank très bien. Vous blank très bien. So, once again, the verb is chanter. So, when conjugating, what do? We drop the ER and we're left with chant. I apologize, I pronounced it incorrectly before. When it's C-H-A-N-T, it's just chant. So, we're left with chant after dropping the ER. And now we have to add on the ending. And which ending goes with vous? The ending which goes with vous is easy. So it will be vous chantez très bien. Vous chantez très bien. Let's go back. Sorry about that. Let's go back. Vous chantez très bien. So we drop the ER and we're left with chant, the word stem. And we add on the ending which goes with vous. And that ending is easy. Chanter. C-H-A-N-T-E-Z. Or easy. Now we're looking at the conjugation of IR verbs in the present tense. Once more, when the verb ends in IR, it is in the infinitive form. So when conjugating, we must drop the IR ending and we're left with the word stem. And the word stem, and after we're left with the word stem, then we add on an ending. Oh dear. And then we add on an ending. Sorry, I saw something just now. There you go. So as I was saying, sorry about that. So We drop the IR ending and we're left with the word stem. Then we add on specific endings to the word stem. So with je, the ending is IS. Je, IS. With tu, it has the same ending as je, IS. Il, elle, on, they have the IT ending, an IT ending. Nous, ils sont. Nous, ils sont. Vous, ici. Vous, ici. Il, elle, is. Il, elle, is. So, these are the endings which you add on after you have dropped the IR ending and you are left with the word stem. So I'm going to go to examples. And remember that these are the endings and the subject pronouns that they are used with. So here's my first example. Finir. Finir. To finish. Once again, not finish by itself. To finish. Finir. So this verb ends with IR and we see that it is in the infinitive. So when conjugating, we drop the IR and we're left with fin. Fin, which is the word stem. So when conjugating, we have je, and the ending that goes with je is is. So je finis. Je finis. I finish. I am finishing. Tu finis. Tu finis. You, informal, finish, or you are finishing. And once again, the is the ending which is used with je. The is is the ending added on to the word stem when we use to. Il, elle, on finit. He, she, or one finishes, or he, she, or one is finishing. When conjugating, we drop the IR and we are left with fin, which we have here in black. And then we add the IT ending, which is in red, when we're using il, elle, or on as our subject pronoun. Nous finissons. Nous finissons. Nous finissons. We finish. We are finishing. Once again, as I showed you before, the ils ending is used when we use vous. When we use nous, When we use nous, the ils ending is used and added on to the word stem. Next, we have vous finissez. Vous finissez. Vous finissez. You all finish. You formal finish. You all are finishing, or you formal are finishing. Last but not least, il, elle finissent. Il, elle finissent. They finish, they are finishing. And once more. When conjugating, at first we have the infinitive. But then we remove the IR ending. Remove the IR and we're left with fin, F-I-N. And then we add on, and then we add on specific endings depending on the subject or the subject pronoun being used. As I showed you before, is, je, is, tu, it goes with il, elle, on. Ils sont, nous. Ils, c'est, nous. Is, il, and elle. Another example, choisir. Choisir, to choose. Once again, we're going to conjugate. First and foremost, before conjugating, we drop the IR from the infinitive verb, and we're left with choix. C-H-O-I-S, choix. We have dropped the IR and we're left with choix. And then we just add on the endings, which correspond with the subject pronouns are subjects. And when I say correspond, I mean go with the subject. So, je choisis. Je choisis. I sing. Sorry, I can't. I typed it up wrong. Sorry about that. I choose. I am choosing. Yes, I am choosing. Tu choisis. Tu choisis. You choose. You are choosing. You are choosing. Il, elle, ont choisi. Il, elle, ont choisi. He, she, one chooses, or he, she, one is choosing. Next, we have nous choisissons. Nous choisissons. Nous choisissons. We choose. We are choosing. Next, we have vous. Vous choisissez. Vous choisissez. You all choose. You choose. You formal choose. You all are choosing, or you formal are choosing. And last but not least, we have il, elle choisissent. Il, elle choisissent. Il, elle choisissent. They choose. They are choosing. So when conjugating once more, when we're conjugating, we drop the IR ending and we're left with the word stem. In this case, it will be chois, chois. And then we add on the specific endings depending on the subject pronoun used or the subject used. Here is some more practice. Tu blank tes devoirs. Tu blank tes devoirs. You finish your homework or you are finishing your homework. Tu finis, F-I-N-I-S. Tu finis, F-I-N-I-S. Vous blank un film à regarder. Vous blank un film à regarder. And the verb we're using is choisir. Vous choisissez un film à regarder. C-H-O-I-S-I-S-S-E-Z. Choisissez. Vous choisissez un film à regarder. Il blank les tâches ménagères. Il blank les tâches ménagères. And the verb we're conjugating here is finir. Ils finissent les tâches ménagères. Ils finissent les tâches ménagères. Ils, F-I-N-I-S-S-E-N-T. Les tâches ménagères. Once more, F-I-N-I-S-S-E-N-T. Nous, blank, de rester chez nous. Nous, blank, de rester chez nous. So we are choosing to stay home. Nous choisissons de rester chez nous. CHOIS, ISSONS. CHOIS, ISSONS. Last but not least, parfois, on blank ses enfants. Parfois, on blank ses enfants. Punir. Donc, parfois, on punit ses enfants. Parfois, on punit ses enfants. Sometimes one punishes their children. And the conjugation would be PUNIT. PUNIT. We're once reminded because we are reminded of the endings. Because it's on, let me get my mouse. Because it's on, we use IT. We use IT and we add that on to the word stem. One minute, s'il vous plaît. Right, so now we are at conjugating our verbs and the endings used. So once again, when you're conjugating, first and foremost, you're conjugating the infinitive verb. And this verb ends in either ER, IR, or RE. That's how you identify that it's in the infinitive. And when conjugating, you drop the ending. So you drop either ER, IR, or RE. And you're left with the word stem. You add, when conjugating, you add specific endings to the word stem, depending on the subject pronoun or the noun that you use before the verb. So here we have the endings. Je, the ending is S. Tu, the ending is S. Il, elle, on, there is no ending. Nous, the ending is ONS. Vous, the ending is EZ. And il, elle, the ending is ENT. So here is an example. So we have the verb vendre, which means to sell. When we're conjugating, we're going to drop the RE. We're going to throw it very far away, and we're left with VEND. And then we add the endings. Je vends. Je vends. The ending is S, so we add the S to the word stem. Je vends. I sell. I am selling. Tu vends. You informal sell or you are selling. And here we see, because we have tu, we use the S as I showed before. Il, elle, on vend. Remember that il, elle, and on has no ending to go with it. So we just are left with the word stem. Il, elle, on vend. He, she, one sells, or he, she, one is selling. Nous vendons. Nous vendons. We sell, we are selling. Once again, ONS goes with nous. Vous vendez. Vous vendez. You all sell, or you farmers sell, or you all are selling, or you farmer are selling. Last but certainly not least, ils, elles vendent. Ils, elles vendent. They sell, they are selling. We have the ENT ending added on to the word stem, and we use the ENT ending because it goes with il, elle. It is used with il or elle. My next example is attendre, attendre, to hear. So once before we start to conjugate, we're going to drop the RE, and we're left with attend, attend. And then, depending on the pronoun or the subject pronoun or the subject, we add the necessary endings. Ou, un moment, s'il te plaît. s'il vous plaît. J'attends. J'attends. I hear, I am hearing. So you saw me remove the E just now and put a dash. The E and the A don't go together. So whenever you see that, the E is replaced with a hyphen. So j'attends. J'attends. I hear, I am hearing. And we see we use the S and add it on to the word stem because we're using je. Tu attends. Tu attends. S added on to the word stem because we're using tu. You informal hear or you are hearing. Sorry about that. Il, elle, on attend. He, she, or one hears or he, she, or one is hearing. Il, elle, on attend. There's no ending to add on to the word stem when it comes to il, elle, on. In this case. Nous attendons. Nous attendons. Nous attendons. We hear or we are hearing. The ONS is used with nous and added on to the word stem. Vous attendez. Vous attendez. Vous attendez. You all hear. You formal hear. You all are hearing. You formal are hearing. Vous attendez. Ils attendent. Ils attendent ou elles attendent. Ils attendent. Elles attendent. Because of the S and the vowel A, this is, how do I say it? There's a liaison between two of them. So this is pronounced as attendent. Elles attendent. You get that Z sound from the S and the A being together. Ils attendent. Elles attendent. They hear. They are hearing. And once more, we use ENT because that is the ending, which is used with il or elle. And when you're conjugating the RE verbs. A little bit of practice. Chaque mois, je blanque mes gants. Chaque mois, je blanque mes gants. And the verb is purge. So, chaque mois, je perds mes gants. Je perds mes gants. PERDS. Je perds mes gants. PERDS. Il blanque les œufs au supermarché. Il blanque les œufs au supermarché. Ils vendent les œufs au supermarché. Ils vendent les œufs au supermarché. VEND. Ils vendent les œufs au supermarché. VEND. Vous blank. Vous blank. And the verb that we're conjugating is attendre. So as I said before, E and A do not go together. When E or A are by each other. So as you saw before, when the E is followed by A, the E is replaced and there is an hyphen and an apostrophe. Sorry, I said hyphen before, I believe. An apostrophe is used. So this would have been M-E, but since the verb begins with A, we get rid of the E and we use an apostrophe. Vous m'attendez. Vous m'attendez. Vous m'attendez? Do you hear me? Vous m'attendez? So, vous, M apostrophe A-T-T-E-N-D, easy. Vous m'attendez. M apostrophe A-T-T-E-N-D, easy. Nous blank notre professeur. Nous blank notre professeur. And the verb we're conjugating is attendre. Nous attendons notre professeur. Nous attendons notre professeur. A-T-T-E-N-D-O-N-S. A-T-T-E-N-D-O-N-S. Remember, we've dropped the R-E. We're left with the word stem and we add on because of nous. Last but not least, le chien blank son eau. Le chien blank son eau. Le chien blank son eau. So, le chien perd son eau. Le chien perd son eau. So, le chien. The reason why it's perd is a il, elle, on. So, le chien is masculine. And if you were to replace it with a subject pronoun, which subject pronoun would you replace it with? You would replace it with il. Il is he, as said before. So, le chien, if you replaced that with a subject pronoun, ask yourself which subject pronoun would you replace it with? It would be il. And what ending goes with il? Remember that we drop off the RE and we're left with the word stem. When it comes to il, elle, on, there is no ending when conjugating RE verbs. There is no ending to add on to the word stem. So we're left with perd. Le chien perd son eau. Le chien perd son eau. Merci pour votre attention. Thanks for your attention. My email is mademoiselle.michaela@gmail.com. This will be used in future classes. Thank you very much for your time.